moving on to doing the number guessing game. You guys can see the instructions here. Everyone has the instructions, right, for today's lab? Yeah. Right? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is create a new project. I've never done this before. So I'm gonna open up my terminal, okay? I'm gonna go to my desktop, because that's where I like to keep my folders. I'm gonna go to my folder where I want to keep all my work related to CoderSchool, CS for CoderSchool. I'm gonna make a new directory. We're gonna call this number guessing, okay? I've made a new folder, right? It's right here. This is where I'm going to store all the code for this project. So I'm gonna move into number guessing. I'm gonna do git init, because this is a new project. I don't have anything on GitHub. No, this project does not exist anywhere in the world. So first, let's just see what we have in here. Nothing, right? We only have two things. These are two system files. I'm gonna do git init, and now I see that I do in fact have a new GitHub project. If I do ls-al, I see that we have git here, right? So now I'm gonna do touch index.html and touch scripts.js, okay? I'm gonna open up my code browser because I wanna use my code editor. It's gonna help me out in a lot of ways, okay? And what I did yesterday, guys, what do I wanna do now? HTML template, right? Right? So I'm gonna get this template. I'm gonna copy all this code right here. And I'm gonna paste it in my index.html. All right, so I see that this is the way that the professionals create projects. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this time I'm gonna go ahead and add a folder called JS. I'm gonna move my scripts.js into this JS, and now this file will in fact be found, okay? So now if I open up console.log here, testing JS works. I save, and then I load this folder. Oops, how'd I go back? I open this file right here, index.js, and then I look at my console log. Once again, we see index.js works, okay? All right, so a user can attempt to guess a random integer between 1 and 100. How can we get information from a user? We need an input box, right? We need some way in order to get input from the user. And the vast majority of ways we're going to be doing this is with an input box. So if I look at index.html, we can look at an old example. So we'll see right here, input. Okay? So I'm going to put this over here. And now I'm just going to add a brand new input right here. Okay? We're going to say guess. We're going to call this one the guess. So if I refresh this page, I see I now have an input. Right? We can input data. So when a user can attempt to guess a random integer between 1 and 100 by entering a value to input into a text box. A user can press a button to check their guess. So what do we need now, guys? We need a button. So that's all we need right now. So I'm gonna add a button down here. We're gonna say this one is guess. Okay? Does convert currency make sense here? No, because we're not converting currency anymore. But where does guess number come from? We need to define it. So we do function guess number. That's simple. Okay? So now what do we need to do, guys? It's very similar to what we did yesterday. Document.get element by ID. What ID are we interested in?
Yes.
What are we interested in this element? What do we want in this element? The value. Correct. So we'll say const guess equals. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, guys, I don't want to do everything at once. I just want to make sure that this works correctly. I wrote 1, 2, 3 lines of code. I defined a function. I added some HTML. I want to make sure that this works correctly. So let's just see what guess is, okay? Okay? I'm going to save it. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to enter some stuff. I don't have a button. I didn't save this. So I'm gonna enter some numbers. I'm gonna hit guess. Okay, so we have a number right here. We were able to successfully get the number from this input. Can you guys all agree with me? If you agree with me that worked correctly, raise your hands. Right? We were able to successfully get this number. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do and receive feedback on whether or not their number was correct. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to make a random number. Okay? Random number JS. I don't even need the slides, man. I can just Google it. Right? Let's just do this one. Let's make sure this works right. I don't know what this does. I've never done this before. That doesn't look right. We want a whole number. Right? JS random integer between something like this. You guys are going to get good at skimming reading. That's super important. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. We want a number between 1 and 100, right? Does this work, guys? Does this work? Yes. Okay. So we're now going to take this number. We're going to take this code, and we're going to add it up here. We're going to say const generated random number equals this. Okay? So now we're going to say if our generated random number is less than the guess, then we're gonna prompt the user. We're gonna alert and say your number was too low, and we're gonna show them their number. Okay? Guess. Okay? Now we want to do the same thing. Okay, let's just do the same thing. We'll go ahead and just test it one time. So I'm gonna do 1. Is it too low? Generated number. This. If the generated number, if the guess is less than the generated number, right? Come on, alert. The number was too low. Right? I don't even know what the number was. I don't know. Right? So let's go ahead and console log this just to make sure. Console.log generated number is the generated number. So let's just say 1. 53. Our generated number was 53. Is 1 smaller than 53? Correct. It was. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, except a little differently. If the generated number is great, wait, hold on, less than or equal to, I forgot what the instructions are. If it receive too low, too high. So if the guess number is greater than the generated number was too high. Okay? So now I'm going to jump over here and test. Let's do 50, 60. The number was too high. The generated number was 12. Right? Can we agree that this was correct? This message is correct? I guess 60. The prompt said it was too high, and the random generated number was 12. We can all agree that's right? So our last conditional that we're going to add is if the guess and the generated number is the same, then you're going to say your guess was correct. Okay? So in order to prove that this works, I'm going to hard code this. Okay? I'm going to say 50. Now I'm going to guess 50. Why did we not get a prompt, guys? Did I prompt? Why did we not get a prompt? Guess. Come on, we've talked about this so many times. Come on, guys, we need some help. It has to do with data types. Let's see what this is. Console.log type of guess, type of guess. We'll do the same thing for generated number. Okay? We're going to prove that this is in fact the correct data type. So I'm gonna do 50. So one of them was a string. Guess was a string. The generated number was in fact a number, right? So what can we do here, guys? We can force a string to be a number, or we can force a number to be a string. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So I can say that, all right, let's just say that this is a string, okay? If I guess 50, the guess was correct. Our generated number was 50. Our guess was 50 as well. And the prompt was correct. Right, guys? Okay. So, how do we do the random number again? That one. All right, so 100. Let's do this one more time. Make sure we didn't break anything. So do 1. The number was too low. The random number was 10. You see that?
I think it's quite noisy in this room. I think that we need to move to the other room because when they start ruling, it's going to be noisier.
Okay, can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, just think when you need support.
Okay. Okay, guys. After a user enters a guess, the text box is cleared. Okay. So we're going to use some JavaScript and some document.getElementById, etc. Okay. So what does that mean? You guys will notice right now when I guess, it stays. The 100 stays right here, right? Everyone see that? So what else can we do? Well, we can do document.getElementById, guess, right? And then we can say something like dot value equals nothing. We're going to say this value becomes nothing. So we're going to say 100. It's too high. And it went away. You guys see that? Do you guys see that? It's because of this line of code right here. We set the value of the HTML element with the ID guess to an empty string. Make sense? Hill, what you about to say? Come on.
Yeah, makes sense.
Watch, we're gonna prove this one more time, okay? 100, guess, I clear it. 100 is still right here. You see that? But I want to remove this. This is our user story. Our product owner said, hey, when a user hits enter, the thing should go away. Can someone tell me another example of where this happens?
Can you explain again about why this gone?
When I hit,
On the getting
1 second. One second. Do you see when I said hi?
Yeah.
Do you see when I said, when I hit enter, I want testing in this text box to go away. This is a very common pattern right here. I hit enter, testing goes up here, it is removed from here. Very common pattern. Oops. Okay, so after the user enters a guess, the text box is cleared. Before we move on, what'd you say, Hui, before I forget?
Just explain again from the card. Open the yeah. Just explain again how it's gone.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Line 21?
Yeah.
So remember that document.getHTML get element by ID, and then we pass it an argument of guess. This searches our HTML file. It searches this entire file right here. It just basically, all it does is just run over here. It looks at our elements right here and says, come on, man, find me an element that has the ID guess. Right? And once we find that, we can do other things with it. We can set its value. We can set its CSS. Set CSS document dot. We can do a bunch of things, guys. And this is something we're going to do a bunch, I think. Nope. Document dot get element by ID dot CSS. Does that work? Dot style. Let's JS add style. Go and help me out here, man. I can't remember how to do this. I want to add a style to this element. I want to add a background color. How do I do this? CSS? Background color. Red? Does that work? That's okay. Hold on. 1 second. Let's just see if this works. So it was cleared, but we need to have this change to CSS. Well, sort of. This example is out of context right now. But what I'm trying to say is that we can do changes on our document, guys. You know, that's just all there is to it. So watch this. Instead of having the value clear, I can just say hello, right? Or I can say hi class. That's what document gives us access to change elements on our web page. Okay? Kui, remind me later if you're not happy with my answer. Can you please remind me later to go with this, because there's a bunch of other stuff we got to do. Okay, so where are we at? Text box is cleared. The user sees feedback about the most recent guess in a bootstrap alert class div. If the guess is correct, the user will see a div styled with the success background. Okay, so we need to use bootstrap. So let's get some bootstrap in our lives. How can we do this easily? I'm just going to add it by the CDN. I'm going to find this link right here. And I'm going to add it up here to the top. Okay, let's go ahead and add some JavaScript. Actually, I don't know if we need to do this. Let's just leave this right now. Okay, so, how do I do this? A user sees feedback about the most recent guess in a bootstrap alert class div. Bootstrap alert class div. If the guess is correct, the user will see a div styled with the success background. Okay, so I think we can do this. We want to alert. Bootstrap alert. This is all I do, man. I just Google all day. Okay. All right, so we're gonna add it down here. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we see alert right here. So we don't want this visible before a user enters something, right? We don't want it to be visible. So how can we make this invisible? I don't know how to do this. We'll say, oops. We'll say, make div invisible. Huh? We can. We're going to need to do that, but we need to do something else right now. All right, we're gonna say visibility is hidden. That's what it is. So we're gonna say something like style equals visibility hidden. Oops. Come on. This right? Okay, that works. Okay, so I should not see this whenever I open this. Okay. So now the user guesses. We show them an alert. If it's correct, we want to show something right here, right? So now I need to find this div right here and then change its style. So I'm going to give it an ID, say alert. And then right here, we're going to say, Don, I really need your help here in a second because I don't remember how to do this. I need to make this alert. I want to make this div right here. I need to change the style, visibility to what? Show? Is it show? I forgot. Show. That's what we want. We want to change the style of this div right here from visibility none to show. Okay? None right now. Or my bad, hidden. From hidden to show. So I'm gonna find this element alert and I'm gonna change the CSS. JS change CSS property. Okay. Come on, baby. Style. Okay, it is style. So then we're gonna say style And then with property. Background color, right? Background color. Okay. And what do we want it to be? Red. Oh no, we want it to be show. Right?
Just invisible, but so.
Oh my bad, visibility. Okay, you're right. Visibility. Visibility. Okay? Refresh this. Do one. What did I not do? No, this will always run right now. So I want to say the visibility to show. See, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not even sure if this is correct. If the show is correct. Right now, do you guys see hidden right here? If it's hidden, right? Let's just make sure this works. I'm gonna delete the style, right? I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna refresh this page. So it's there. In fact, it's there, right? And let's just confirm the show is what we're looking for. I click this, and I'm gonna add it a new style. Visibility is hidden. So in fact, it does hide. If I change it to show, it does in fact show. So we got to figure out how to change visibility of this image right here. Okay, show is not the one. None. Visibility. Visible. Okay, so instead of show, we'll do it visible. I hope this works. And we want this to be hidden. Okay, so I do one blah. Okay, so this can get more complicated, guys. We can also change the style, right? We can change the style of this element using document.getElement by ID. Okay? Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. If the guess is correct, the user will see a div styled with success. Class, alert, success. Let's just make sure this works correctly, okay? So we'll say visible. Is that what it was? Okay, so that's success. Success is green. So how can we do this correctly? How can we show certain ones that are successes and certain ones that aren't? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're just going to create two divs, okay? And we're going to make them both invisible. Okay, both invisible. We're going to say one is wrong guess. And we're going to say the other one is correct guess. Okay? So now, if the guess is correct, what does this need to change to? On line 20 on the right. Correct guess, exactly. Exactly, that's exactly what I want to hear. Why is this not working? Why is this showing? What was it again? Visibility hidden? Okay. So I guess my guess was not correct. Right? So if it's not correct, what do we want to show? So up here we want to add something. We want to say wrong guess. Okay? So now let's go ahead and move these alerts, okay? I'm going to move these. We're just going to see the yeah, we're going to see these. Okay? What? Oh, because it's neither, we need to alert both in both cases. If it's too low or it's too high, we need to alert the user that says your guess is wrong. But obviously this can get more complicated. All right, so we can see that our guess was not correct, right? So let's just change this. Let's say your guess was wrong. And then we'll say you're correct. You guessed correctly. Okay? So I'm gonna say 111, guess. My guess was wrong. What was the number that was generated? 17. And it was in fact the red one. The wrong one worked, right? So let's just hard code it. Let's just make sure that this works one time. I'm gonna say 10, okay? 10 is always gonna be the number. I'm gonna guess 10. My guess was correct. And now I have an alert that says, good guess. Right? Okay, so I forgot what else we got to do. Okay, we see success. The user is limited to 10 guesses to guess the correct number and can see the number of remaining guesses after each incorrect guess via a guesses remaining area. Okay, so this isn't too hard either. So let's go ahead and add a H1. And we say number of guesses equal 10. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna refresh it. I see number of guesses is 10. But each time I punch something, it doesn't change. So how can we change this, guys? Exactly, we're gonna get the element. And then, in fact, I'm gonna do this a lot easier. I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna say 10 right here, okay? And then we say ID equals number of remaining guess. Okay? So now, no matter what situation occurs, I want to reduce this number by 1. So we're going to get this value, right? We're going to say remaining guess equals const. Now, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to take its value, and I'm going to take the number of remaining guess and minus it by 1. Right? So if I refresh, I do 1. Oops, get out problem. Did I say this? Inner HTML? One second, I think this is it. I hear you. So I target, you guys see how this changed right here? I changed this right here. This is something I did. So we know for a fact this worked correctly. We targeted the correct element, right? But the problem was that this wasn't correct. And I can tell you right now what the problem was. The problem is that the number is a string, and I'm trying to do math with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. I know what it is. Parse int. Let's see if this works. Oops. Okay, I'm wrong. But let's see what this .inner HTML, that's what it is. And this is gonna be, please work. Ah, damn, isn't that sexy? Damn. Okay, so we have a guessing. The user can restart the game by pressing a start over button. What do we need, guys? We need a button. That's exactly what we need. Okay, let's add this one to the bottom. I'm sorry my code looks bad right now, but I'm thinking more than I'm worrying about styling. So we just say reset game. And we'll say this what? Reset game. This is a good name. So in this one, what do we want to have happen? Function reset game equals. Now we want to change the variable back to 10. Okay? So now we're going to do the same one right here. Except we're going to say it's going to be 10. That's all it is. Oops. So I do one guess. Good. So I do one guess, two guess. I reset game. Back to 10. Right? Okay. So I did all the required features for you guys, okay? These are all the required features. Now I want you guys to do the optional features. Well, no. First off, I just want you to do what we've done so far. I'll share the code with you. Give me a second. I'll clean up the code and share it with you guys. Just.
The random guess will go down to less than 0.
Okay, so now we can make this more difficult, yeah. So we can add, now we're talking about scope again, okay? We're talking about scope again. We need to define a scope. Let me clean up my code a little bit so I can understand what's going on. Okay, so now we need to find a number up here. Let number of available guests equals 10, okay? So every single time this function fires, we want to increase this number by 1. Equals plus or minus equals, minus equals 1, right? And then, one second. I'm almost done. And then lastly, for this one right here, we want to set this back to 10. We reset it. This right here, line 26, changes what we see on the screen. But line 25 changes the actual data that we're working with. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, and last we need to do one more thing. If the number of available guesses is equal to 0, we return because we don't let them guess anymore, right? We're out of guess. That's simple. So I can do 1. Did I refresh this? 1, 2, 3. What? We're not going to see anything else happen, actually. We're not going to see anything else happen because I didn't add anything to change this. But you guys can easily change this. When we're out of guess, I want to see a different alert that says you're out of guess. Okay? I've shown this to you guys. Let me upload the code so that you guys have access to it. And then afterwards, I want you guys to review. And I want you guys to add the optional user stories. Okay? I did every one of them in like 10 minutes. Come on, you guys can do this. I don't know, how long was this video? Get remote -v. I'm saying, who am I comparing my code to? And the problem right now is I'm the only person in the world that has this code. No one else has this code to compare it to. So what do I need to do now? I need to create a new GitHub repo, which will be shared to the entire world. So I'm going to do new over here on GitHub. We'll just say number guessing. Okay? I'm going to make it public, and I'm going to create a new repository. I have 3 available options right now. Create a new repository from the command line, or push an existing repository, as well as import code from another repository. Which one do I want to do? The second one, right? Because I already have some code, right? I have some code right here. I can determine this by my master branch. Get branch, master. Oops, get branch, version. Okay, I don't have any other branches other than master, so I'm sorry. That didn't work out how I expected. But I promise you guys, this is a GitHub repo, okay? If I type in ls-al, I can see my Git right here, man. It's the first thing we did. It's the first thing we did, guys. What'd you say? Git branch -a? It's because I don't have anything remote yet. There's nothing remote to compare to. So because I already have a GitHub repo, and think of it, every single time I said GitHub repo, just know it's a folder that has files in it, and these files do code. It could be a mobile app, a web app, it could be an API, it could be anything. So I want to git add my remote, right? I'm just copy this command, and I'm gonna git push -u origin master. The -u here is called a flag. It tells it's additional arguments. That's all it is. This is an argument to this command, right? What? Okay, so that works. So I'm gonna do git push -u origin master. Oh, because I didn't add anything yet. I need to add all my files. If I do git status, I actually don't have any commits. I have nothing. So I'm gonna do git add index.html. What else can I do? Exactly. What if I only want to add index.html? What else can I do? No, dot will add every single file. I can just open up VS Code, guys. Right? I go over here. I have 3 files. Let me just add this one. So now watch this. Do you see how index.html is in red right now? If I do git status, it's now in green. This code is ready to be pushed to a different folder on the internet for everyone to share.
If you did git add, can you do multiple files? Not every file, but like multiple files within that git add, or you do one by one?
I've never tried. Maybe. I don't know.
I was curious about that.
Okay, let's just
So
try
you
it.
want to add those two, DS4 and JS.
Touch go.js. Okay, so now we do ls or get status. We have 3 files here, or well, 2. Let's see. So let's do get add go.js test.js. Is this what you mean? Get status. Okay, so I just learned something. We can in fact add multiple files on one line. Great. So now I just want to add this last folder. Okay, I'm gonna add this one, and I'm gonna delete this one because I'm gonna get yelled at if I add stuff and it doesn't make sense. Okay, so these 2 files are staged for commit, right? So I do get status, and I can see that we have 2 files. Now I'm going to do get commit message, initial commit, required, user stories, implemented. Okay, so now I can do get push and all this magic. Okay, so I just wrote some code, man. I'm about to give you guys some code. I'm about to give you guys money. You can thank me later. So now I refresh this page. If I refresh this page, we can see these 2 files that I actually just created. Now every one of you guys has this. And this is what the power of Git is, guys. It's how you share your code with the world. Bam. Now all you have this code. It looks like shit. I didn't format it. But that's okay. I want you guys to use this. Clone the repo right now, guys. Clone it and get the rest of the user stories running. And make it look good. I already added Bootstrap. Style it.
Should we make like a branch of yours? Make our own?
Yeah.
If you weren't to work on mine, you would do that. But I want you to clone it and then push it to your own project on GitHub. Okay, I want you guys to all have your own copy of this on GitHub. You say, I took the copy and I'm going to do what I want with it.
Maybe I'll make a branch under.
Okay, you guys give me a second, guys. I haven't uploaded any videos today. Please give me a second. Oh, man. Okay.